Hello, everyone. I have a fun story for you today. This photo stopped me this morning, and I had to record a video about it. This will give you all a good chuckle. I've been going through my household records in the basement for a couple weeks now, and when I saw this picture, I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is actually real. Basically, my grandfather owned a family farm. This would have been in the 50s and 60s, before my time. And if you see back here in the photo, there's a sign. And then if you see over here, there's like a big, huge screen. That was the drive-in movie theater in town here. This was one of his animals that wandered off the farm. And the story goes that at one point, there was a drive-in movie happening, and people were driving up to the screen in their vehicles. And I guess there were these speakers that were on the sides of cars back then. And I guess that's where the volume was for the movie on the screen. I didn't grow up in a time with drive-in movies. There is one around here, but it's hours away, so I have never been to one personally, but this is what I was told. And on a particular day, my grandfather's cows, they got out of the farm and wandered off about 2 blocks down to the drive-in movie theater. And what makes this story so spectacular is at that time, people are sitting there. You can imagine people with their soft drinks or whatever they're drinking, with their popcorn or whatever snacks were served back then, and they're sitting in their car. And, probably now that I'm thinking about it, they probably brought their own popcorn, because even when I was a kid, I remember we didn't buy popcorn and soft drinks at the movies. People who brought us to the movies, whether it was our mom, dad, a friend's parent, they would make popcorn and put it in a grocery bag, and then we would bring it into the theater, and it wasn't against the rules back then, where now you can't have an outside snack. You have to buy it from the movie theater, unless you sneak it in. But back then, it was allowed. So I grew up like that. So I imagine that's what people did back then. They probably made their own popcorn and brought it in their own vehicles with all the other snacks they brought. And just picture a bunch of people sitting around with these speakers at their windows, and the windows are rolled down to wait for the movie to start. And then all of these cows suddenly walk up to the speakers. And the story goes that people were so thrilled. The movie playing was a cowboy western movie, probably starring John Wayne. And people were so thrilled by this, about the mooing and all that. They thought it was a staged event by the drive-in theater, so they thought it was fantastic. Equivalent today would be like a 3D movie. Here you have all these animals coming up to the speakers and mooing during, a drive-in presentation of a cowboy movie. When I was in my early 20s, I started waitressing at a little deli/Italian restaurant. And when I interviewed there, somebody told me that they knew who I was because of the cows that escaped into the drive-in movie theater. And then customers would come in, and I'd be waiting on the tables, and they would tell me the same thing. They would say, oh, you're that girl, yeah, we knew your grandfather and we knew all about the cows. I had so many customers tell me this. But it wasn't until yesterday when I found this photo going through my grandfather's old photo box. And I just couldn't believe my eyes. I had to share. I hope the story brings a smile to someone's face today. I'm truly blessed to be able to sit here and share this with you, a piece of history that's long been hidden in a box somewhere, but not forgotten. Thank you so much for watching today.